Okay, first of all we're going to need our garlic and lots of it. So we're going to top and tail each of the cloves of garlic and then give it a little smash, remove the skin and start slicing and dicing. We're going to place a few slits up and down the side of the clove of garlic and then hold it firmly in our fingers and start slicing from the side. This is going to give us really small pieces which is going to blend beautifully into the chili. Once all of your cloves have been chopped, we'll give them one last full mince and dice with the knife, moving around, getting them all as small as possible before we add them to the pan. We'll add a small knob of garlic into the pan and then cover that with the garlic that we've just chopped before moving on to our chili peppers. Grab your washed mixed peppers, top and tail them just like we did with the garlic cloves, and then we're going to start slicing them. Now for those of you who don't like it too hot, we're going to remove the seeds and the white stuff in the centre of the peppers. However, this is going to create a recipe for 6 people and these chilies aren't particularly hot, so it's totally up to you. Now we'll head back over the stove, turn the heat on to our garlic and just start slightly toasting them in the butter. We don't want to burn or overcook these, otherwise they'll start tasting of soap. So very light heat, and as soon as they have lost their starchy whiteness, then we can add in the chilies. Once the chilies have slightly softened, we'll add some boiling water to the pan, which will let everything simmer while we take care of the rest of the vegetables. Next up, we're going to take care of the onions. Let's top and tail them, place a slit down the side and remove the outer layer. Once the onion skins have been removed, we can freshen up our chopping board, wash our knife, then take our onions and cut them in half. Place them on the flat side, put a couple of vertical cuts in, and then turn them 90 degrees and start slicing them down the side. Now that the onions are ready, we can add them to a pan with some salt, some butter on the bottom, and turn the heat up to medium. We're going to sweat these onions without reducing too much of the water content because we're going to need that water in the chili later on. Moving back to our pan of simmering garlic and chili peppers, we're going to add a little tub of red Thai curry paste before mixing that all together with a little bit extra water if you need it. Once this mixture comes up to the simmer, we're then going to add it to our stock pot. And now for our washed and dried bell peppers. We'll place a circular cut around the top, a circular cut around the bottom, and then from there we can just push out the largest side, which will remove all the seeds and the core. With the top, bottom and core of the peppers removed, we can make vertical slices down each side of the ribs, removing the acidic white stuff, and then we're left with the flesh of the bell pepper. By this time the onions were ready. They were translucent, they were sweating in their own liquid, and they were perfect for going into the stock pot with the rest of the chili peppers and the red Thai curry paste. Now with our onions in the stock pot, we're going to finish off our peppers with a julienne cut, slicing them nice and thin, ready for cooking. We'll add our cut peppers into pans with a little knob of butter and cook on high heat. Once the peppers are fragrant, we can get ready to add them to our stock pot. Now, don't do what I did and forget yourself adding them to the stock pot, but once they are in, make sure they're incorporated with the rest of the ingredients, and then place the lid on, and we're going to leave that on high for around 2 hours. After 2 hours on high, your curries can be looking something like this, and here's when we're going to want to add our red split lentils. Remember to thoroughly wash your red split lentils and then add them into the stock pot. Now, these will have been washed in cold water, which means we're reducing the temperature in the stock pot a significant amount. So make sure your stock pot is set to high, and from here on in, we're going to have to keep an eye to make sure that there's plenty of liquid for those red split lentils to soak up. So we're going to check it every 15 minutes and add water where necessary. After cooking the curry with the red split lentils in for around 45 minutes, mine were tender, they'd soaked up a good amount of the water, I had to add a good amount during the cooking process, and now we're ready to prepare our spinach. The spinach is going to wilt quite quickly in this curry, and we're going to want to leave it in for about 5 to 10 minutes before taking it out and either serving or putting into dishes for saving and freezing. Now optionally you can leave your spinach leaves whole, but that's going to make it quite difficult to stir the mixture, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a strong handful, bunch it up and then cut it into slices. We'll then add it to the curry before placing the lid back on and leaving enough time for the spinach to wilt. After 5 to 10 minutes your curry will hopefully be looking something like this, almost spilling out the sides of your crock pot. At which point we are ready to serve, or in my case I'm going to dole these out and use them as meals throughout the week. And that's it folks, a 450 calorie red split lentil and spinach red Thai curry.